Hi, how are you doing? This is open enrollment for the city of Carson. My name is Pierre Demian, Senior HR Analyst, and today we have Mr. Sergio Orlanes. He's a Senior Employee Benefits Specialist, and he's going to give us information about principal vision plans and, principal dentals. Go ahead and please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Pierre. So as mentioned, my name is Sergio with Principal, and pretty much the goal today is to go over your Principal POS, Point of Service Dental Plan. So with that, we'll just go ahead and get started. So we'll move on to the next slides here. And we're going to talk about your dental plan. The dental plan that's being offered is a Point of Service plan. And what makes this plan different is that it has 3 tiers, as you'll see on the screen here. You'll see that first one on the left-hand side that says Exclusive Provider Organization. That's 1 tier. You have a middle option called Preferred Provider Organization. A lot of people call it the PPO plan. And then you have a non-network provider option. So you have total 3 options with 1 dental card. So if you're signing up for the first time, you don't have to select one of these options. It's already all included. And if you already have the plan, just as a reminder, certain plans have better benefits, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So let's focus on the first circle there, the one that says Exclusive Provider Organization. That's our EPO network. All it is a list. It's a list throughout the entire state of California. The dentists who are on that list are on there because they signed a contract with Principal to be on our Exclusive Provider Organization, and by doing so, they're going to charge a lower negotiated rate. They're going to charge up to 50% below the normal fee. So they're not charging full prices for crowns, extractions, root canals. They're charging that lower price. So when they charge less, your out-of-pocket's going to be less, and your benefits are going to go much further throughout the year. That's the advantage. So out of the 3 options, EPO is the best option out of the 3 because that's where you'll pay the least, and you'll be able to get more services for the same amount of benefits, for the same annual maximum, which we'll dig into in a little bit. PPO, that middle option, is also available to you with your dental card. But with that list, it's a separate list. But it's not just in California, it's throughout the entire US. So if you were to do a search, which we're going to do towards the end of the meeting, you're going to be able to find dentists here in the Carson area that are in the EPO list and also in the PPO list. The difference is the PPO list is going to be much bigger. Okay? So you're going to find more dentists in the exact same area when you do your search. Now, the difference between an EPO and a PPO is the PPO dentist signed a different contract. So instead of providing discounts up to 50%, their discounts are up to 35%. So they're going to charge a little bit more, but it's much better than going out of network, which we'll touch on in a second. So again, between the 2, EPO is always going to be your best bet because they're charging the least. You have plenty of dentists to choose from, thousands to choose from in LA County. So that's going to be your best option. But again, you can always move between these networks whenever you like. As always with these plans, you don't have to give us a call to change your dentist. You make the decision on your own. You have that freedom. You also have the freedom to see your own specialist whenever you like. You never have to give us a call. You make those decisions on your own. Now, on the last circle there that we're going to touch on is the non-network option. Non-network allows you to see any dentist you'd like in the US. Just remember, when you go out of network, those dentists, they don't have contracts with us. They're going to charge their full price. So if they're charging the full price, they're going to bill you the full price, and Principal, we're going to pay up to the prevailing fee for that area that you visit. So if they charge over the allowable amount, your dentist is going to send you a bill for the difference, what they call balance billing. Later on, I'll talk about how to find out what that cost will be ahead of time. So with that, we'll continue moving along. Let's talk about this comparison. Now, the comparison you see here, it's a generic one. We use it at all of our groups, at all of our meetings throughout the US. So these numbers are generic. Your benefits are actually higher than what you'll see here on the EPO column. But this is just for illustrative purposes, as mentioned there, and it's just to give you an idea of all, what these discounts mean to you. So here we have an example of a person who needs a crown. You'll see in that EPO column versus provided charge, we're charging $1,000. But the key difference is this, where it says discounted fee, $549. In this example, Principal would pay 60%, and then you would pay the bottom line there, $220 for that crown. Now keep in mind, this is a generic example. Your benefit isn't 60% for crowns, it's actually 80%, so it's even higher, so you pay even less. But again, it's a generic example, so we'll just keep moving along here. You'll see on the right, PPO dentist, if you look at the bottom line, it's going to be a little bit higher. And then if you look at non-network, look at that bottom line there, it's going to be a little higher, much higher. So the key thing is, when you're trying to choose a dentist, we encourage you to go EPO or PPO, but in-network's your best bet if you want to pay the least for the same services. But again, the freedom is yours, and you can go EPO dentist one day, PPO dentist the next day, out-of-network the following day. The choice is yours. You always retain that freedom. So now let's move on to the next slide here. This is going to be the slide that's going to give you a breakdown of what the insurance pays for certain services. Of course, your benefit summary provides more details, but this will just give you a brief summary here. So you'll see here that you have a couple of columns. You got your EPO, PPO, non-network, and then underneath each of those sections, there's other columns: deductible, co-insurance, maximum. If this is the first time signing up for a PPO, point of service plan, I'm going to go over those and tell you what they mean. Deductible, that's the amount they get to pay before you start receiving services. So you pay that first. So you'll see in some cases, for basic or major services, you'll see a $25 deductible. That means you pay that first $25 to your dentist before the insurance kicks in. So that's your deductible. You'll see the column on the right where it says co-insurance. Those are the percentages that you see on your screen: 100%, 80%, 50%. Those percentages represent what the insurance company pays. You pay the difference. So if you're going to an EPO dentist for a major service like a crown, principal will pay 80%, and then you'll be responsible for 20%. And again, it's 20% of the lower negotiated fee. Like we mentioned earlier, EPO dentists are charging less, your out-of-pocket's going to be less, and your maximum that we're going to touch on in a second is going to go further. So let's talk about that maximum. You'll see where it says $1,500. This is combined. That maximum there represents the most that the insurance company will pay your dentist per person per calendar year for the covered services. And that's per person for even children up to age 26. Doesn't matter if your children are married, living with you, going to school, or they're out of school. As long as they're under age 26, you're able to cover them under your plan. But that $1,500 is a benefit that resets every January 1st. So on January 1st, that's when the benefits reset. So something to keep in mind. And remember, that's combined. So that's $1,500 total. It's not going to be $1,500 for each of these columns. This is $1,500 total that you get every year per person. So that's your maximum. There's also some rollover benefits I'm going to touch on in a second, but just want to, while we're looking at the screen here, just want to point out that you'll see that when it comes to services like basic and major services, the percentages are higher, meaning you're going to pay less when you go to an EPO dentist versus a PPO or a non-network dentist for basic or major services. So again, I'm going to reemphasize, going in that EPO network is where you're going to get the most value, but again, the choice is yours. So let's keep moving along and let's talk about some additional benefits. Now, this plan includes an orthodontic benefit. So if you need braces, this includes Invisalign or regular braces. It covers children and adults. With your plan, it covers children up to age 26 as well for braces, and it's zero deductible, covered at 50% up to $1,000 lifetime maximum. And that lifetime maximum is per person. So if you go to a provider, and let's say you decide to go out of network, and they charge $5,000 for braces, the most that this will pay is $1,000. I want to make sure that's clear. That's lifetime maximum. It's not like the maximum we saw earlier where it resets every January. It's lifetime. So I just want to make sure that's clear. So of course, with that being said, about the lifetime maximum, it's really, really important, or it's in your best interest to either go to an EPO orthodontist or PPO orthodontist, because that's where you're going to get the most value from your insurance plan. So keep that in mind. And later on, as mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about how to find a dentist. So let's keep moving along. Now, earlier we talked about going in network, going out of network, trying to answer those questions like, how will I know what my expenses are going to be? Or maybe you're going out of network and you want to find out what's that balance billing going to be about? Well, if you look at the first bullet point here, it talks about predetermination of benefits. This is something we recommend for non-emergency work, something I've done personally about 4 or 5 times in the past 7 years. With the principal plan. It's a pretty simple process, but here's how it comes into play. Let's say you're at the dental office. You go for your exam. Dentist says to you, you need a couple crowns, maybe an implant, a bunch of deep cleaning, those $1,000 cleanings. And you might say, well, how will I know if I'm going to go past that $1,500? One thing you can do is ask your dentist to submit a predetermination of benefits. Some people call it a dental treatment plan. When you ask for that predetermination of benefits, what your dentist will do differently is they're going to take your estimate, your x-rays, they're going to even type up a little narrative to go along with that, and they're going to ship it all off to principal. Principal is then going to send a letter to your home address, a letter to the dental office, and on that letter is going to give you a breakdown. It's going to show you what your dentist is billing in the network or out of the network. It's going to show you what principal is going to pay and what you should expect to pay at the dental office. Some people like to request that predetermination just to double check, just to make sure everything matches up, make sure there aren't any surprises. So something we do encourage you to do, and we encourage it for non-emergency work like crowns, those expensive deep cleaning, something where you're not in pain, because it does take about 2 weeks for that letter to come to your home address. So again, something we recommend, but for those non-emergency services. Now, to find the dentist in the list, EPO, PPO, all you have to do is go to principal.com/dentist to do that. And we'll walk through that towards the end of the meeting. So let's keep moving along. Now, there's another benefit that's included, and it's called a maximum accumulation plan benefit. It's kind of like a rollover benefit. I'm sure all of you remember back in the 2000s, early 2000s, where cell phone plans had rollovers. Kind of like the same thing, but I'll explain how it works. Let's say for this year, you go to the dentist for your cleanings, fillings, whatever it may be. If you used under that threshold that you see on the screen of $750 in benefit, if you used under $750 in benefit, what principal's going to do is we're going to take half of that, $375, and we're going to roll it over onto your next calendar year maximum. So this year's 2020, so for next year, instead of having $1,500, we'd roll over $375 on top of that for a total of $1,875. To get that rollover, two things must apply. Number one, you have to go to the dentist at least once per calendar year. And number two, what principal pays out has to be under $750, under that threshold that you see on the screen. This rollover is based on each member that's covered under your plan. So let's say you have a 20-year-old son who refuses to go to the dentist. And let's say he doesn't go to the dentist this year. Well, he's not going to get the rollover. But you, who did go to the dentist, who used under $750, will get the rollover. So it's going to be broken down by each member that you have covered under the plan. On the next slide is a generic example. Again, these maximum numbers that you see don't match what you actually have. Yours is higher. But it just gives you an idea of how it would work, how with the claim limit, which would be your threshold and benefits paid and rollover amount. So it just gives you an example. You can look at that and study that for a minute. And just keep in mind that in order to maintain that rollover balance, you have to go at least once per calendar year at the minimum and have charges under $750. So you'll see through that example there. So it's a great benefit, and it allows you to build up a benefit until you've accumulated an extra $1,500 on the side. Once you accumulated an extra $1,500 for your plan, that's when it stops paying. So once you have a total of $3,000 between your regular maximum and your accumulated amount, that's when it stops. But if there's going to be more details in your benefit summary on that benefit there. Now, there's some additional benefits that are included on your plan. If you were to visit principal.com, log in, create your username, password, so you can access your dental card, you can access information on the plan, see what claims have been paid out. In that area on our website that you log in, you're going to have access to dental vouchers. And that's what we're going to talk about right here. There's a periodontal program voucher and a cancer treatment oral health program voucher. It's all going to be included in one sheet. And these are helpful, let's say, in case maybe someone in your household is currently pregnant, has heart disease, diabetes, they can get an extra cleaning. On your current plan, you get one cleaning every 6 months. But what this plan does, this voucher does, it allows you to get a third cleaning. So you're able to squeeze that third cleaning in there. Now, what's important is that if someone in your family that's covered has those conditions, it's important to print out that voucher and then give it to your dentist, because your dentist has to submit it with the claim. That way, it won't get counted against your 2 exams that you get per every 6 months, one every 6 months. So make sure to print that voucher out, and you just check the boxes on there and then send that off to principal. There's also another voucher called a second opinion voucher. So if you go to a dentist tells you got to remove half of your teeth or whatever it may be, if it's just something just doesn't feel right or you just want a second opinion, you can do that. And there's going to be a voucher that you'll print out. It works the same way. You take it to that dentist who's going to give you the second opinion, and then have them send it with the claim. By doing so, it doesn't count it against your 2 exams. The one, you know, you get 1 exam every 6 months. It doesn't get counted against that. So it's important to use that because you have that option there. So make sure to log into the website. Now we'll keep moving along, and besides the website, there's also an app that you can download on your phone. By downloading the app on your phone, you'll be able to see claims that have been paid out. But more importantly, you'll have your dental card on there. So if you don't want to carry it with you, it's going to be on your phone. So you can use it when you visit the dental office. And then if you're traveling, let's say you're somewhere throughout the U.S., a crown comes loose and you need services, you can go on the app and find dentists that are in network in that state that you're visiting. So it's really helpful. I recommend that you do download that app. And that's pretty much it for my portion here. But now we're going to transfer over to the website so you can see how to find a dentist. So just give me a second here. And get out here. And we're going to go here. And as right now, you should be seeing, let me double check here. Let me see here. Give me a second. Right now, you should be seeing the website.
Nope, we're still seeing the slide.
Still slide, okay. How about now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So to find a dentist, all you have to do is go to principal.com. You can put /dentist, but if you're looking at this right now, there's also a section here where it says find a dentist. The website gets updated, and sometimes they'll remove the quick links or move them to a different location. So just in case someone's looking at this video a year from now, I'm just going to do it the other way, which is to type in /dentist. It's going to take you to the same spot, but just in case the website gets updated, they move the links, the quick links, it's going to take you to the same spot here. All you have to do is click search for a dentist. And you're going to see here where it says find a dentist. I didn't mention this, but there's a Mexico directory that's included in the EPO network. Everyone has access to that. But we'll go down here where it says choose your state. So we're going to choose California. And then you have to select your plan. There's going to be several options here. Your option is the one that says POS. That's the one that has the 3 choices. That's your plan. And then we're going to type in a zip code 90745. And then you can search by within 5 miles, 10 miles of that zip code. Earlier we talked about needing braces. So let's go to orthodontist. You can choose a general dentist, endodontist, no specialty, and it'll just pull up everybody. Oral surgeon if you need to get your wisdom teeth extracted. But let's go to orthodontist. And by the way, there's pediatric dentists. So if you have a small child, you can take them directly to pediatric dentist. You don't have to get it approved by us. You just, as long as they're in network, that's where you're going to save money. So let's just choose orthodontist for right now. And you can see there are other options here. So we'll go here, press continue. And let's see. Okay, so right here, you're going to see the section right here with the bold in bold. It's going to mention the principal POS plan, but what I want you to focus on over here, I'm going to highlight this section here, where it says 53 EPO orthodontists and 107 PPO orthodontists that are available in that 5-mile radius of 90745. Now, I just put in the zip code, but one of the things that you can do, I just want to, as an extra note, is that you can also put in the address. So if you're looking for a dentist close to your home, type in the full address, because sometimes when the system does a search, it might pull up a different area of that city. It might be on the outskirts or so forth. So if you're trying to do a search by either the full address, for whether it be a dental office you're looking for, or from your home address. But right here, I just did it just for time. So you're going to see some of the zip codes might be a little bit off. So you'll see EPO dentist. It'll kind of go into Carson and Wilmington and Torrance. So again, putting the exact address will get you better results, whether it be your home address or the city hall address or so forth. So you'll see these are the EPO providers, and these are the dentists that are going to provide services at a much lower price. That's the advantage. These are the ones that are contracted in network. So there's plenty to choose from. But again, I highly recommend putting in the full address. So let's go to show PPO. This is going to be the bigger list. And we'll click on that here. You'll see instead of having 53 dentists within 53 orthodontists, within 5 miles, you have 107. So you're going to see some of the providers here. And one thing I want to highlight for everyone is this. There are some dentists that belong to both lists, the EPO list and the PPO list. If they're on both lists, what Principal's going to do is we're going to process the claim under the EPO network, the one with the deeper discounts. So that's important to know because, again, some dentists sign contracts on both plans because we do offer EPO by itself, PPO by itself, but yours is a combo plan. So if you see people that appear on the list twice, that's why. And let's just change here. Let's go to no specialty preference within 5 miles, and there we go. And then you'll see the list here. And just remember to make sure to click on either show EPO or show PPO. So let me go back to the EPO, and we're going to wrap it up here in a second. So you'll see within 5 miles, there are 455 EPO dentists and 1,160 PPO dentists within the 5 mile radius of 90745. So you're gonna have more dentists that pop up. And remember, you can change dentists whenever you like. Every member in your family can go to a different dentist. So you can go to one close to work. Your spouse can go to one close to your home. Your 5-year-old can go to a pediatric dentist. The choice is yours. So there are plenty of choices with the plan that's provided for you by the City of Carson. And if there are any questions, just let us know. We'll open it up, but that'll wrap it up for my portion for today.
Thank you, Sergio. Pierre, do you have any wrap-up items you'd like to cover?
No. Thank you. That was very informative. Again, it's looks like I'm personally is new to the City of Carson as well, but it looks like a very good plan. I do recommend for everybody that's going to be watching the Zoom that to go ahead online. Make sure you go in, look at the dentist, preferably if it's much better cost-wise to get somebody in the plan that's covered. But the plan does offer all the varieties and, make sure you use it. And that is the whole point of it, All right, well, thank you. Also, just for the record, we did not receive any emails requesting any specific questions. And this meeting will be available, the recording will be entirely available on our city's website probably within the next 2 business days. All right. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for attending, and we're all much appreciated. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We'll sign off.